Hey, how we doing, Internet? We're here again, and so are you, probably, if you're watching this. Thanks. We got another hour filled with conversational content that we're going to get around to telling you. So if you got any other minion names, go ahead and join the chat. Throw them at us.
30 minutes.
For now, we got myself. I'm going to be talking first. My name is Corey Hogger. How you doing? We got us DJ Sammy Mannequin back there in the back, getting her style on, living her best queenly life as she should with her crown. We got the foundation layer in the structure of words and in bass tones. We got Darius Culpepper right next to me, and gonna be bombasting you with words later. And also, we've got coming down the center of the circle, creating this whole atmosphere in the backdrop and building up DJ Mannequin. It's Monica Saucedo!
Oh, thanks, guys. Oh, God.
And the one who put the camera up so that you're hopefully watching this, we got the man Skylar Neal over there.
Yeah! Government? That's your middle name?
No.
That's his last
Neil. Wait, that's your last name?
The government? Oh, I thought you
Your
asked if
government
government
name.
was my middle name.
No, oh my God.
I thought it was Skylar the government Neal.
I'll start talking, sorry. Go ahead, Corey, my bad.
Honestly, that's not my middle name.
We'll figure out names eventually. Again, you can put our names in the chat too if you want, because we have another visitor, a good friend of ours. Hopefully he'll be a good friend of yours too. His name is CJ Kelly.
Woo!
All the way to LA from FLA, Florida. I don't know if that's how it actually gets abbreviated, but I went
it
for
does
it.
now.
It's FLA.
Sure, yeah.
I'm happy to be here. Happy to be y'all's cheerleader.
Yes.
Yes, and we're all gonna cheer each other on and try and cheer up and cheer down and cheer all around for any kind of listening pleasure. As long as everyone caught that fart
Live TV,
and gets this thing going
That was a
proper.
that was an alto fart. That was
We
Louis.
are blasting off, y'all.
Yes.
I don't think you picked up on the sound spectrum.
What about-
No one's gonna
It
notice.
wasn't so much the
won't
fart, it
come across
was
on-
more so
on
just
video
the
at all.
aftershock
Yeah.
of the fart.
Everyone just kind of
Everyone
felt it.
just
We
looked
sat
like-
there.
I don't know
we
who that
acknowledged
was.
it.
We did. Yep.
Sometimes,
I think we can play it off
sometimes,
as if it didn't happen. If we just don't make it too big of a deal about it, you know.
sometimes Louis
I can mix
Armstrong
it in
rents out my
post
ass.
that it's like
and-
quieter,
Yeah,
and then I can turn our Molly or.
I think we're well past that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. At this
We
point,
can all be
It's
there.
out. It's out there in the
it's out
open.
there. It's out there pretty much. Guys, I do want to start the show off by just apologizing to all of Jack Harlow's fans because I am gonna slander him right now on this podcast.
Bust him like we bust that wind.
Exactly. Yeah. There you go. We're quick around here. We're very quick and very witty.
Yes, we are. And, how dare you talk about Jack Harlow that way? He's my idol.
Bro, okay, so let me touch on this BET Awards performance because Jack Harlow performed at the BET Awards.
Not a great start.
The powers that be are trying to push him to be the next Drake, so much so they even put Lil Wayne on stage with him like, see guys, he is gonna be the next Drake.
He's co-signed.
But that wasn't the most egregious thing. The most egregious thing happened during this performance when he brought Brandy out. Shout out to Brandy, she's a queen,
Shout
she's a
out to
friend
Brandy.
of the show. She watches us every week. They brought Brandy out, but not only did Brandy display a greater lyrical ability than Jack Harlow, she completely washed him on stage. And for me, if you're supposed to be the next big thing in rap, you don't get washed on stage by Brandy. That
Yeah,
would never
because I
happen
was
to
about
Drake.
to say,
I'm
no
just saying.
offense to Brandy, but like, and I know everybody's hyping her up after her, that show, what, Divas?
Queens.
Oh, Queens, my bad. Sorry. I made you
I mean,
watch
was
it with
Sammy
me too.
right there?
I know, sorry, my bad. Queens. It's just, yeah. Anyways,
Can I
like
say
the whole
something about
time I was
Brandy?
watching it,
sorry.
I was just like, Brandy cannot rap. But
I thought Brandy sings.
she does.
She does
But
sing, but
the
she's...
entire internet is hyping her up that she can rap. And I will
She
say,
ended-
even with that being said, I do agree. I do still think that she did better in that performance. And like seeing her rap there, I was like,
And just a
Jack
just a
Harlow
quick
made her
backstory.
look like she's a good rapper.
The reason why Brandy was rapping over a Jack Harlow beat in the first place, it was because Jack Harlow didn't know that Brandy and Ray J were siblings, and that's what's pretty much caused them to even be in interaction with one another in the first place.
That's right,
So,
Brandy and Ray J are siblings. Brandy was my first black crush.
she was your first black crush. Hey, for the first
Mine
black
was-
crush.
Mine was Michael Jordan.
Really?
First black crush. Ah, first black crush. All right, Corey, first black crush.
Lil Kim.
Wonderful.
Skylar.
Freaking
Rihanna? Okay.
I'm kind
A
of
little late in the game, all right.
Skylar's a late bloomer. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Well, that was when I was in like, that was like 5th grade or
Oh.
something. She was doing her thing.
Oh, I might have to retract
I
it
was
because
like-
it just
Retract.
because of Janet Jackson.
Ah!
Only like
Yeah.
just because it was like a bigger step up, and she was very pivotal to my adolescence growing up.
We,
That whole album.
yeah, I know what
that
y'all be
music
talking
video
about too.
Where she's like in a junkyard, like a car junkyard. It was like her first big one. You remember that one?
Who?
Confused
Troll?
Joy
Rihanna.
Jackson?
Oh, Rihanna. Oh yeah, Ride.
Yeah, that was it. Probably because all the fucking Fast and Furious movies. I feel like if Fast and the Furious made so many people's personalities, like so many people wouldn't be who they are today if they didn't see Fast and the Furious in elementary school.
Janet Jackson was in Fast and the Furious?
No.
No, he's talking about
He's-
Rihanna.
Yeah.
Were we?
Yeah. sorry.
Oh,
It's
Rihanna!
happened a
We're
lot.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Rihanna was- yeah,
you know,
Rihanna
we're
was-
kind of here, there, we're
Where's-
everywhere. It's
I like
cool.
that segment though, First Black Crush, that's a good one.
First black. Corey, you mentioned that Janet Jackson album. I know exactly which album you're talking about too, because I listened to it as a young man as well, and I remember my grandma being so upset that Janet Jackson would make such a filthy album. And hearing that as a kid, all it did was make me
Yeah,
want
I
to hear
mean,
the album
it's
even
gonna
more.
magnetize
Like, I
you
was
to
like,
anything.
it's like I need to get my hands on that CD. like, for real, man. So yeah, nah, absolutely. So that was your first black crush.
Space Jam did it for me.
Space Jam did it. Yeah, I mean, you know.
I was like, oh my god.
I don't even remember where I saw her. She had her own show, right, on Nickelodeon or something? Or Brandy did?
Brandy.
Yeah, well,
Moesha.
Oh, dude. Yeah, okay, duh.
Yeah.
I fucking knew that.
Oh,
Mo
man.
to the.
Was it
E to
UPN?
Yes,
Yeah,
it was
okay.
UPN. Yes.
Shout out UPN.
Shout out
Oh,
UPN.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. We are going to do a full podcast about UPN someday.
Yeah.
We will, just a full breakdown. But anyway, not today. But yeah, first black crush. I don't even remember my first black crush because I just, you know, you guys get it.
Flip
But,
it. Who's your first white crush?
Yeah.
first white crush. Oh shit, that actually is a good question.
Better
Pam,
question. Who's your first Latin crush?
Probably Pam Anderson, Jennifer Lopez.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Those, yeah.
No
those-
brainer.
Okay.
First white crush, yeah! First white crush!
Are you excited?
We did it. We did it, y'all. We did it. All right, so y'all, we all, I feel like we all are like pretty much nerds here. And I don't use that as like a disparaging term. Like, but yeah, we all are nerds. But here recently, and I feel like we all grew up nerds, but here recently, nerd culture has become popular and it's like the cool thing now. And so, how do y'all feel about that? Like the pros and cons to y'all of nerd culture sort of being like chic?
I think we need to give a lot of credit to Pharrell and the Neptunes and that project that they made, NERD, because that gave us Clips Grindin', and that was an amazing song.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
they had also another skateboard song that I can't remember what the name of it was, but it was. I had that album, and that album was awesome.
Oh hell yeah.
Sorry, Corey, we're listening.
No,
Yeah.
we're all on board with watching that fly by.
I
It's
think that thing
cool.
flew out of my ass.
Yeah.
Farted and tried to pretend like you.
Probably.
No one heard it. Just
Sneaky squeakers.
So anyway,
farted in my pants.
right?
Right in my pants again.
No, but
That's Stop.
Wait, what was the question?
Just got
Like,
together.
oh, yeah.
Like, man, how do you
Nerd
feel about
culture.
nerd culture being
I feel like
popular
I
now?
grew up watching Dragon Ball Z and fucking that shit like wasn't really cool with all like the sports kids. And
Right,
shit.
and it was
Now
the OG, right? And now this shit is like,
And I was like, no, it's cool. Like they
Right.
fight and stuff, and they're like, yeah, whatever, nerd. And then now every rapper's talking about Dragon
Everybody's
Ball Z.
on Dragon Ball Z's dick now, yeah.
Yep, all
On
over
Dragon Ball's
Goku's
balls.
dick and
Yeah.
balls and Vegeta's
Right,
dick.
yeah.
Now,
bro.
I will say there are different like subcultures of nerd.
No, absolutely.
Which also is like if you were actually here's the thing for me, I do appreciate that it's more like embraced now,
yeah.
but I do think that people have gotten to a point where now the people that felt more like, oh, you're not a real nerd, like you have to prove that you're a nerd to everybody, when it's just like, okay,
Yeah,
yes,
it's like proving you a gangster in the streets. People be like, you
yeah,
gotta
and
prove
it's just
you
like,
a
oh,
nerd.
but did you watch
Throw your
this
Pokemon
version?
card.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
now.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, you like Squirtle Basic, you know,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
and then it's just
yeah.
like, okay, like, whatever, you know, because here's the thing. I liked a lot of stuff, but I've never been someone who was necessarily an obsessive personality type, where it's just like, I just liked it, appreciated it for what it was. I never really, like, just threw myself into a lot of things where I was just someone who knew everything about that thing, because I like to do a lot of different things. It's part of being ADHD. So you're just always like, you get super into stuff really quick, and then you're like, okay, I'm bored with this, let me do something else.
Right.
Okay, I'm bored with this, let me do something else. But I have always been drawn to like a lot of different stuff. And for me, it was weird because I grew up in a time like, I think most of us did. Skylar, it might have been slightly different because I think you were kind of on the tail end of our generation where it was like elder millennials, to use that term, where it's just like, for us, it was still frowned upon to, you know, be these things and do these,
Yeah,
like,
show
like,
your
yeah.
fly your freak flag.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
guys
it
walk
was still
so
very
I can
like,
run.
oh, yeah.
I think we can all
That's
agree
why
as elder millennials, we all still got our asses beat by our parents.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was we hit right before the cutoff.
Yeah.
And
Skylar, did your parents hit you?
I got it bad.
Okay. all right.
That was good.
I bet
But
you
there
did.
was some that's, yeah, I was like, there's still some trickles like down, but yeah, and also just like having to, like, there wasn't this like anti-bullying stuff. It was just like you would go home crying about shit that happened to you in school. Like for me, a lot of the stuff was just how I would dress. I was in cheer, but I was also in theater. And so it was kind of like one of those, like, I was in the theater kids, I was too cool, like, and the cheerleaders were like, that bitch is weird, you know, like,
Living a
so
double
it was
life.
just, yeah, so it
Yeah.
was just like never really finding that, like,
It was a weird middle ground.
yeah,
for
like
you.
where everyone kind of fucks with you, but also no one really fucks with you. You're like the friend that like, you're the last invite where it's just like, okay, my mom said I can invite 15 people, you can come. You know what I mean? Like,
I would
and
usually
so-
just go with people who did get invited, and they'd be like, "Who's this?" And be like, "It's fine. Just don't be fucking weird, dude."
Right? And it's just like, for me, I think people enjoyed because I was always just like myself. I think it forced me to be sure of myself at a very young age. So just being able to be like, no, this is who I am and I'm okay with it. Like, I like who I am. I like what I like. You don't have to like it. And I had to learn that in junior high, like pretty like early. I would come home crying to my mom, be like, this girl, I remember this one bitch. Her name was Tiffany Wilson.
Tiffany
okay?
Wilson, fuck you
Hey,
from
fuck you,
all of
Tiffany
us,
Wilson.
the podcast. Yes.
And she was like, friend of the show. Every day. And she was just like this little blonde hair, blue eyed white girl, you know, like always wore Abercrombie and like had her little denim skirt, had the layer, her Dooney and Burke purse. You remember those times, like the early 2000s. She was like fresh for the early 2000s. You could tell her mom had, like, they have money, you know, or at least enough. And she'd be like, why do you dress like that? And I would just be like, you know, in her face, I'm just like, why are you bothered by it? I'm not making you wear this. I like it. I'm comfortable. You know what I mean? Now, granted, I did look ridiculous. I was wearing like rainbow toe socks with sandals and boy shorts, you know? Like, yeah, I was definitely like raising some questions
Like
on
a RuneScape
attire,
character.
you know?
That's
Boy
dope.
shorts
Yeah.
were great.
They were just so much more comfortable, and because I have long, like, dress code shit, I couldn't wear little shorts. They were just too little. Anyways, moving on. As you'll notice, I ramble a lot. Just cut me off. But yeah, so just being made fun of a lot, and then I would be cool in front of her, but then I would go home because I remember I didn't want to be the bitch that was crying at school over shit, because I had a friend that she would cry, and I was like, and I heard some other person be like, that bitch is always crying. And I was like, damn. And I was like, I don't ever want to be that bitch that's always crying.
God damn, just get your shit together.
Yeah. So I would just like go
Gotta
home.
kind of try and no sell it till you get behind that door. You're like,
Well, it used to be hard trying to hold back tears as a kid.
Oh my
That shit
God.
was the hardest thing, though.
And you're just trying to be so tough, like, why does it bother you so much? And then I would go home and be like, she's always making fun of me. Like, just like ugly crying in the car. And my mom's like, because of course my mom, like, we're very like religious and stuff. And she was like, well, you have to kill them with kindness, mija. And would just like tell me, like, you know, just get into the Bible, you know, turn the other cheek. And I remember one time I was like, I've turned the other cheek so many times that all 4 of them are red. But yeah, I was very bent out of shape about this, and my mom was just like started laughing. I was like, it's not funny. But yeah.
Shit.
Anyway. But yeah, she was like, oh, but you have to just try your, but anyway, so that's kind of like my pros and cons about it, where it's just like, it's cool that it's being embraced, but it's also just kind of like, it's hard to feel like as you're older now, like you have to prove that you're some sort of nerd or whatever, and it's just like, just because I don't know everything doesn't mean that like I don't like it, but I also get like being irritated by people just doing it because it's trendy now, because it's also just like, bro, you weren't made fun of for this shit when you were a kid.
You weren't shooting in the gym.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
you wasn't shooting in the
you
gym.
didn't do this. Like, it's kind of how I felt when people started wearing fake fucking glasses, and it's just like,
yeah.
bro, I've been blind since the 3rd grade. This has been across
Corey,
to
you can
there.
speak to that.
yeah, you didn't have to go into gym with your eyes closed and wait for dodgeball.
And then you're like that's always the most embarrassing thing, when your face gets hit and then your glasses are all fucked up, and then you try to like, my glasses were always broken too.
Yep. You're just scrounging around the floor
Yeah, you're
like
like,
Velma.
Yeah.
It's them never related to something in cartoons more than Velma on the floor.
Oh
looking for
my
her
god,
glasses.
dude. Yeah.
Damn, yo.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Must be nice to have good eyes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about though, with like the Simpsons character guy who's like the comic book store dude, and he's just like, oh really? In chapter 3 of
Yeah, it's like some elitist shit.
Yeah,
you know?
it's like the
Yeah.
jock of the nerds.
Like they've gone so far into their hole that they feel that they've reached the mountaintop of it.
Yeah.
They're like, I am the king of this giant hole,
Yeah, what's
and I know everything inside of this hole.
And then you just get to a point where you're like, dude, if you don't get pussy, just say that.
For real, yeah, no, straight up, straight like that. And then, y'all, this kind of bring me to the next thing I wanted to ask y'all. Like, the Marvel Universe is something that's, like, ubiquitous right now. It's just, it's all around us. Like, how do y'all feel? Are y'all tired of it? Are y'all looking forward to what's next? Are y'all just like, can we get something
I'm excited
else?
about what's next, which is gonna be like every goddamn thing. It's gonna like grow and grow and grow. It's already like expanding into other intellectual properties or whatever. So eventually, and it's Disney and it's everything. So I'm excited about when there's like Star Wars Marvel movies and fucking like
cross.
Batman's Marvel movies.
what? Like
Well,
a Star
Batman's a
Wars
DC
Marvel
property.
movie.
Exactly.
I guess-
but
I
it's just a
mean-
matter of
A
time.
crossover between Star Wars and Marvel.
I mean, it could be. Like,
theoretically,
it's possible at this point. Like, and do y'all think it's getting to a point where it's kind of too much for the general public to follow? Like, wait, I gotta watch the TV show
You don't
so I
gotta
understand
follow
the
it.
movie,
Yeah.
and then I gotta watch the miniseries that's online so I can understand. Is it too much at this point?
insofar as what people actually give a fuck about, we might have broke the bubble of people to stay as invested in further superhero movies going forward. Just because all of the extra characters are probably going to not have as well-defined storylines. And then, so, you know, it might end up just matriculating out into a wider consciousness, kind of how comic books started as literally just like bits in newspapers, and then became actual comic books, and then became like cartoons and TV series and then movies.
Yeah, like I didn't see like Liu Kang in the 10 Rings or whatever.
No, you and all of us didn't see that.
Shang-Chi?
Yeah.
Shang-Chi in the
You
10 Rings.
combined like 2 universes.
I did. Mortal Kombat. That'd be a good crossover too.
Hey, Mortal
That's
Kombat,
what-
Marvel, yo.
The realms are merging.
Yeah. But it's like yeah. So Shang-Chi in the 10 Rings,
Yeah.
but like I didn't
It
see
was
that, but I
actually
did.
really good.
Yeah.
I know. I want to see it. It looks
Yeah.
good because I like Sorcerer Supreme because Multiverse of Madness is pretty good, and the Spider-Man
That
movies
was
are
good.
So
Yeah, bro.
I'm in it. I'm in it for the long haul now. I've invested fucking over half my life.
Oh, but yeah, at this point, it's
2008.
like you just gotta, you
Yeah.
gotta keep watching
Since
at this
Iron
point,
Man.
you know.
Yeah,
So
you gotta keep going.
Well, I guess since the first. Do we count that though?
What?
When
I
the
haven't-
Sony.
I have a
so-
confession to make. I didn't
The
see all
first
Multiverse of
Spider-Man?
Madness. I fell asleep
Oh,
during
first-
it. But your dreams
You're
are a
lying to us!
window into a different your multiversal selves.
Yeah, we were watching that, and I think that's just like a good explanation because I don't know anything about Marvel or anything, but fucking we put that on, and I'm like, there's fucking colors, there's fucking lights, there's fucking dope ass.
There is a lot of
monsters.
spectacle.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, and I'm excited.
Skylar's not into Marvel. Come on, Skylar.
I'm
You
fucking
know you like it. You're just trying to
I
hate.
love it. I love it.
He did the same thing with anime the other day. He said,
Yeah, I
"I'm
was
fucking
like,
with
fuck
anime."
anime.
Oh,
watch
it's
it,
like,
and I
you
love
be
it.
you be bullshitting. You be bullshitting.
20
bro.
episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen later.
I
It's-
do
it's
fuck
good.
with it.
Bro.
Yeah.
Nah, yeah, but no, visually, the Doctor Strange shit, yeah, which is a visually interesting
Insane.
movie.
They got the
Like,
portal shit going on where like he like casts a portal and then flies out the other side or whatever. Use momentum.
Yo, we gonna kind of get sidetracked, but stay on topic. What did y'all think about Jim from The Office as Mr.
Oh,
Fantastic?
fucking ruined the whole
When
movie.
did this happen?
He ruined the whole. Probably when you were asleep.
When you was asleep.
Which I get it because that was the worst part of the entire movie.
Wait, the Fantastic Four comes in Multiverse?
No, just Jim,
Just
Mr.
Mr.
Fantastic.
Fantastic,
Yeah, because
yeah.
he's part of like a board in this alternate universe where he
Yeah.
had gone, where that like Doctor
Okay.
Strange was like a bad guy or whatever,
Okay.
where he was like the problem, and just like the way,
Spoiler alert.
right? Oh wait,
Spoilers.
the way he was just talking about this shit just sounded like it's. Do you guys watch The Office?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you know Threat Level Midnight when
think
he's
so,
golden, when he plays Golden
Golden
Face.
Face.
That's what it felt like. It felt like he was Golden Face, and it was just like an ironic like take
That is
on
good
Mr. Fantastic, where he's like, "Well, you have to do that because blah blah blah." Like, and oh my god, it just like it's so bad. It's so bad.
No, he's
and
pretty
and
ass,
I
that
love.
actor.
He's not though. He does Jim so well. But that's what
I think it
came
might just
through
be
was
him, though.
just.
It's just,
Jim playing a character.
I feel like I've seen him. Have I seen him do other shit? No, I don't think I've seen any of his other
Oh,
movies.
Jim
so
is
I
the one
guess
that dates
can't.
Pam, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
the tall,
Yeah.
lanky
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
That's
he's in the
married to
He has something called
Emily
like Jack Harlow.
Blunt.
He's in a movie, TV show, a series called Jack some shit, right? Like
yeah, Jack Reacher.
Jack Reacher.
Jack Reacher, yeah.
So- wait, no, that's
Harlow.
Jack Reacher is Tom. What's the fucking
Not-
Jack Reacher is the
Tom Cruise.
Hold on.
Tom Cruise. Yeah, it's some
Is
other
it?
Jack Reacher. It's like some bullshit
Hold
name
on.
like Jack Reacher, but it's not. It's
I
like
mean, it
Jack.
could be, but
Yeah,
Jack
they're
is-
slowly turning him into an action star too. They're
Yeah,
like,
they're trying to do that.
they are trying to turn him into an action star.
Yeah.
It could be Jack Reacher, and they maybe just.
let's take
Oh,
white
it's like a TV
comedians,
series.
It is
thicken them
Jack
up and put them in
Reacher.
But
movies.
that's,
yeah,
but that's Tom
that's what it
Cruise. They
No,
No,
Tom Cruise
that's-
the movie, but they're also doing a show.
Oh yeah, they
Yeah.
did another movie with him.
They
and it's
also
John
doing a show.
Krasinski.
John
Chris-
Krasinski.
Krasinski. But yeah, I think he plays Jim very well. But yeah, it felt like him playing Golden Face
Yeah,
as
pretty-
Mr. Fantastic.
Pretty,
and
yeah,
it was
pretty
just
much.
like
You
Pretty
never saw
much.
Quiet Place?
Yeah.
Oh.
I saw it on plane.
He doesn't talk.
He did.
well,
He did. Yeah, he did a great job. He did a great job. But y'all, as we get towards like the end, I do kind of want to shift into like a slightly serious tone. Only because we got you here, bro, and it is so good to have you here. Y'all, let's give a round of applause for our boy. It's good to have him out here with us. But yo, I would like to hear just from the congregation, like if we could like articulate like our hopes, you know, what we're hoping for in the near future, and also like our anxieties, whichever one comes first. But like if y'all would just articulate that, and then you know that's how we take it out. We end on a high, slightly serious note.
Right, I'll go last, right? So,
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I've been just, as I get older, like I kind of have been recognizing the patterns that we go through. You can kind of break it down into yearly increments. Like, we've got the consistency of knowing, like, how the calendar system we have set up works. So, just regulating yourself through the day into a week, into a month, into a year-long system that accentuates more constructive habits and focusing towards positive outcomes as opposed to being reactive to the things that life takes in. Not to say that you can stonewall things, because you can't, but learning how to accept the feelings that arise when things happen so that I can make more understanding decisions, like more fully thought through and informed decisions, and be able to like hold my place in understanding the society that has been built around us, like knowing my privilege and responsibility to being a part of it, like trying to find positive ways to contribute to the whole while also being the individual.
Facts.
Yeah.
So, what's the question where you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Yeah, hopes and anxieties.
It's a hopes and anxiety.
This is like an interview. I was like,
I'm dead.
I was like, fuck.
But my hope is to be able to maintain the course. And the scary thing is all of the having to react to things, because there is action and reaction, and everything is all living at the same time at different places at time in their life. So just
Different
trying to
places.
maintain myself among the waves like a surf ninja. Like that 90s movie. I want to be the kid playing the video game that I can control my own avatar and make it through and get the beach babe.
Yeah.
Get the beach.
And also
single.
have Rob Schneider as a friend.
Oh man, that's what's up, dog. But but real talk, bro. For whatever it's worth, like I'm very proud of you, man.
Yeah.
I hope to see you continue on your path. Real shit.
Yeah, man. Everything.
Yes, Monica. I know you have quite a bit to say about this one.
Oh God, about my hopes and maybe I go last. I'm already stressed out. No, I'm hopeful for a lot of different things. Honestly, I think it's hard to focus in on one thing for me, which has been like my eternal struggle with life. Again, it just goes back to like being ADHD and ADHD in
The
life
deficit
as well.
of attention is why there's a disorder of it.
Yeah. But also just seeing, and I've been seeing a lot of stuff about this too. And Corey, you were talking about like forming good habits that then in the long run will like create like a better life for yourself essentially. But I've just been seeing these videos, like I get lost on TikTok a lot, but been seeing a lot of videos about people that are like jacks of all trades, which I like to consider myself as such.
Human Swiss Army knife.
Jill of all trades.
Yeah.
Just trying to
You're
be
woke.
as
You're woke.
informed
dead.
as you can about as many different topics as you can find relevance to.
Well, because it's just also a matter of like, I see something and I'm like, oh, I can do that. and then I'll just like try to do it just because, or I'm like, oh, this looks interesting. Like I've been looking into tattooing lately, but it's just like, girl, like that's not something. My problem is I look at stuff and I'm like trying to find ways to do things like to have a job without having to have a job. Because I've worked basically every job I could possibly have without having a college education. And even then some that I probably wasn't qualified for, honestly. But I'm a good interviewer. So it just, for me, I guess that kind of like, just seeing like how like people that are like, have that mentality where it's like hard to just, and then you kind of like go in this circle with yourself where you like beat yourself up about not being able to focus on one thing, and you're kind of putting yourself in this social box where we're required to be and operate like a normal person, but you're not normal. Like your brain doesn't really like function like that, and society isn't really set up for you to succeed or to be viewed as someone who is succeeding or has like your shit together, essentially. And it's just like, you know, like it does kind of weigh on you a little bit. I think that's where the anxiety comes for me, where it's just like, we've talked about this before where like typically, I don't really care what the general public thinks about me, who I am, and where I'm at in my life. But when it comes to like the handful of people that I do care, it just like, it does kind of bother me sometimes to feel like I'm viewed as the person that just doesn't have their shit together. You know, it's just like, bro, you're at this age and there are people in your life that do expect you to be a little bit further along than you are, and just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you have no car, you have no job, you have no money saved up. Like, and these are all things like no house, you're not married, you don't have kids. Like, what are you doing? Like, what sort of life are you creating? And then just kind of like constantly playing that over and over and over, and then trying to figure out like, okay, but like, what am I going to do about it? Like, you have to ask yourself, like, what am I doing about this? Like, you have all these anxieties, and the truth is, like, it's not these people's lives, and yes, their opinion of you matters, because you don't want to just be, like, a piece of shit that's just, like, not doing anything, and so just, like, but the you doing something looks different than what they think that it should anyways.
And you just got to be able to hone in on the constructive ways to go about presenting it to people.
Yeah, where it's just like, okay, how do I explain this to someone who doesn't think like me? Because it is hard to really just tell somebody, like, we all kind of came out here with like $1 and a dream, essentially, and was just like, okay, cool, I want to do something that no one else around me is doing, so I need to get away from the people, from everything I know, essentially. Because those people around you have cultivated an environment in which, like, you just don't see yourself succeeding in the same manner that they consider as success, which is, like, the house, the family, the kids, the good job, like, you know? And it's just like, yeah, those things are cool, but I don't put my value of my life in these things. Like, it would be nice to, like, you know,
appreciate that they put value in it. It's just that your priorities aren't aligned with that specifically,
which makes it hard to explain to people like that no, I want to do this, so like, and it's just like, oh, well, just get a job. Do you think you're too good for this job? And it's just like, a lot of people that are saying stuff like this haven't really had to be in the workforce in a while and don't know what that means. It's like, yeah, I could just get a job, but the moment I get a job, now I'm not getting money for food anymore. Yeah. And I can't afford to feed myself with that job.
And all of your time and money goes into just being able to maintain going to that job.
Which is just like, and they don't understand like what it's like. It's just like, no, I don't feel like I'm too good for that job, but that job doesn't pay me enough to live a life, like, without, like, and it's just, like, understanding that, like, what is it?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. But understanding that it's just, like, when I was there, I wanted to fucking blow my brains out 3 times a week. I'm having a fucking meltdown in my car because I hate the way people talk to service industry people. I hate the way, you know, I hate the fact that my coworkers don't do their fucking job. So now I'm stuck carrying all the weight and we're all getting paid the same. And if I'm getting paid more because I'm in management, it's only $3 more, which is $3 not enough to deal with all of this fucking bullshit. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's just like a circle where it's just like, how do we change this? And what can we do to like make this different? And even so on a smaller scale, like what do I do for my own life so I just don't have to fucking do that anymore? And my hope is to be able to create a space eventually where I can provide jobs for people that they can actually be happy to go to work and be paid enough and have these benefits, and there's not such a fucking wage gap between CEO and the worker. And that's like, I think greed is like, anyways, that's going into a whole nother thing, but moving on. Whoever is next.
Great.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hi.
We're starting a revolution!
Oh.
No, I agree with that. It's like
No,
it's always the
facts.
person that like owns 6 McDonald's that's like, just get a job as a dishwasher at McDonald's, and you're like, there's no dishes at McDonald's, all paper goods. And they're like, yeah, whatever, okay.
Yeah.
Peasant.
That was a dude I worked directly for. He was like the mayor of Winter Springs, and I worked at his McDonald's. Was my first job coming out the gate.
How long were you there for?
Oh, less than a week. I got fired immediately.
Oh shit!
Because I would just
all
eat.
boy.
He
That's
also
how you do.
the thing that they did for Canadian bacon was you had to use it was policy to use your hands, and I was like, that's bullshit. But then like it's like I get there early in the morning, not enough time to eat breakfast. There's just nothing but breakfast in front of me. I'm not gonna eat all this breakfast.
Yes, Skylar.
Wild. They even want you to come in like 5:30.
But that is an issue that they need to be able to confront. Like, you can't have people working in food who can't afford to feed themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's something that's
Minimum
always
wage was
$5
yeah.
or something crazy
in
like
Florida,
that.
too.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, Florida minimum wage, so yeah.
And
It
that's
probably still is
insane
at
to me
that.
too, that they don't like, and it's crazy because some restaurants and shit will be like, oh, but you get 30% off, and it's like,
Yeah.
bitch, I don't want to spend my money here at this place, so fuck this food. I see how you guys make it.
Yeah.
If you're gonna fucking like give it to me for free, bitch, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
You gotta
always
hang
like,
out
it
there
looks
after.
like I'll be eating the fries that fall off the counter.
Yeah, like I just accidentally order the wrong thing on purpose, just so it's just like food that had to go back, and you're like, oh, we gotta throw it away, so I guess I'll just eat it.
Oh no, I've had yeah. Try that at Chili's. They literally take the food and they stare you in the eyes and they throw it out. They
No,
go,
yeah.
my God.
throw it
I
out.
was at Wawa. We were throwing away donuts or whatever. They told me to throw away this whole thing of donuts. I was back there. I threw away one. I had eaten an entire donut.
Damn.
And the amount of time that it took me to throw away the next one before I ate a whole ass donut, I was hungry.
Skylar's really out here thugging, dude. That's dangerous
Bro.
shit.
It was fun. Donut.
Well, see, it's crazy too because so many people throw away. So no one should be starving, especially in the.
True.
Do you know they have commercials in other countries for starving Americans?
No, they don't.
Yes.
Stop it.
Yes,
I don't
I've seen a
believe-
German
where?
commercial. I've seen a Chinese commercial. I've seen a Japanese commercial. Like all for like funding, like for like starving American. This poor American child lives like, and then
What?
it's the
Yeah.
translation like,
It's like a
they can't
German
afford.
Barbara's
They live in
Walters, like
yeah, like.
just-
Like, oh, they live in poverty. The wage gap is so insane here. They can't afford
It's me
to
just
eat.
hanging out
like,
waiting for a
blah,
bus,
blah.
not knowing what
Stupid.
Well, just like the kids too. Like kids should not be going hungry. The fact that school lunch is not free for everyone is fucking insane to me because you guys are feeding these kids garbage anyways. Like,
I remember sometimes we get Chick-fil-A at my lunch, and I was like, okay.
Oh, that's wild.
but kids like shouldn't be going hungry. There's
Yeah,
no
no,
reason
yeah.
why. Like, and lunch ladies and stuff. And it's just like I think I read a story one time where like the lunch lady got fired for giving a kid that needed lunch free lunch because she was just giving out free food, and so she ended up losing her fucking job because she's not letting kids fucking go hungry. And it's just
Yeah,
like,
no,
what the
that's
fuck is
fucked up.
going on with the world?
That is
Solicitors
fucked up.
would bribe the principal of my high school and then just post up inside selling shit to during the lunch, like or just giving away like samples of muscle milk or all kinds of bullshit.
Skylar, quit trying to weasel out hopes and dreams.
Oh,
I like having you here. You keep this young man on his shit.
What is it again? Anxieties and hopes?
Yeah.
Hopes
Hopes and anxieties, Skylar. What does it look like for you, bro?
I am hopeful that I don't break my phone and I get a little bit of pussy and I'm not.
Just a little bit, just a
That's
dash.
all. It's all real shit. Let's go ahead, bro.
And I'm very anxious of dropping my phone on the floor or talking to women. So it's like a catch-22.
It's real. I mean, it's real shit, bro. It's real shit. CJ, man, I'm interested to hear yours, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is it? Where do we see ourselves in 5 years?
Hopes and anxiety.
Back in rehab, baby! Woo! No, I'm kidding. Rick Flair. I know, I'm joking.
All right.
Working out one. Overnight again. My hopes is for everyone at this table to have a happy, healthy career in whatever they want and live their wildest dreams and fucking have all that shit come true while we all possibly work together like Adam Sandler and his friends and take care of each other for the next 20 years.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
My anxieties are, well, let's get dark. That I won't live that long. I don't know.
I feel you.
Let's be
fair, bro.
honest here.
Yeah, man.
That's fair. Man.
No, really, my anxieties is that everyone's gonna find out that I'm into trans women.
Yeah.
That would suck so
Well,
bad.
the cool thing about that, it's relatable.
Oh, they've got a niche now.
You look at a pussy. I have no idea what's going on with that.
Beads for
But you look down, it's a dick. You're like, okay, I can relate. It's relatable. I get that.
Oh man, you know, hey man, love is love, bro.
Love is love.
Shit. With that being
Stick to
said,
dick.
Corey, you want to open the door and take us?
Oh, I was gonna say, do we want to end a high note?
Oh yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
Should we bring it back up?
All right.
Okay, guys,
all right.
what was it? Because we
Oh, yeah,
was talking
that's
about
it.
school
Beach.
lunches.
Okay, all right, go ahead. Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Beads.
What was your favorite school lunch
school
item?
lunch.
My favorite, Blimpie, Florida. You know about Blimpie?
Yeah, I know about Memphis. Yeah. That was a good one.
Okay, so when I was in high school, they
right.
had this option for all the cart, and you could get like pizzas, I think, which were pretty dope. But the main attraction was they had these giant cinnamon rolls, and they were fucking perfect. They'd be hot out of the oven. They'd have all of like the cream cheese frosting all over the top. It was cake.
yeah.
It was loaded. They were like $2. French fries as well.
Hell yeah.
We had Texas Pete, and we also had fucking this barbecue chicken with like government cheese that was thick as all hell. It was like plastic, but it was so goddamn greasy that the grease soaked through the plastic and made it like malleable, and it was so goddamn good. You put all the hot sauce on it, and then yeah, you just go to heaven until the bell rings.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
I have 3. So
Give them to us, girl. Give them to us.
High school, we had the options to buy different stuff. There was this thing, Bosco sticks. It was like this breadstick with cheese in the middle of it.
Okay,
And then
talk
you
about
would-
it.
Yeah, and it had
Talk about
Parmesan on the top. I also got French fries with me and my friend. We did this thing. We got mayonnaise, ketchup, pepper, like a shit ton of pepper. Mixed it up. Dipped the fry in, and then got Parmesan, and then we would roll the fry that was already dipped in the sauce and the I'm telling you, it's the greatest combination of flavors. That and hot Cheetos and cream cheese. Elementary school, I don't know if y'all ever heard about the super donut, but it was these little donuts that came in these bags, and they were like thick, and they kind of like had like a syrupy taste to them, but they would heat them up in the bag, so the bag was nice and warm.
I remember that.
Yeah, the bag was nice and warm, so you would crack it open, you were like, yeah, super donuts. And then like, not everybody fucked with them like that though, so it was one of those things, hey, you want your super donut?
Yeah.
You want your donut? Yeah,
that's
you
all
want your
I know.
donut? You want
That
your
being said,
donut?
I had deja vu when you were describing the salt and pepper mix. Weird.
Bro,
I didn't know. Just this.
I heard that means
My vision right here.
I heard that means that you're in line with the right timeline. If
It
you
means
have
that my
deja vu.
multiversal self is somewhere.
Or there's an
Know
agent
that you're in
nearby.
the right.
Oh,
You're in the
oh,
right.
Yeah, you're in the right space.
You're in the
now.
right
Okay.
universe.
Of course I'm in
Yeah.
the right
On the
space.
right.
That's where I am.
Hey.
Yeah.
Timeline.
Hell yeah. We
Yeah.
flossed out.
Yeah.
I'm dead.
I don't know. I just got the idea to give the beads out. Maybe like we could use them. I don't know.
I've made a shirt out
It
of
was
some
fun.
of them, but yeah, we can make necklaces.
No, it was dope. It
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
dope. Yeah.
Okay, what about you? Oh, and
Crystals.
peanut butter sticks.
Peanut butter stick.
Yeah, you skipped over your
Yeah.
fucking hopes and dreams.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
because it
anxiety.
doesn't really matter.
What are
Anyway,
Yeah,
you want to take
yeah.
it home, Corey?
My hopes is that he shares his hopes and anxieties
Oh,
with
shit.
us.
It's a paradox.
Right? And then you could take us out with your favorite school food. That way it
Take us
brings
out.
it back up. Okay?
My anxiety is my anxiety is just to die without feeling like I've done anything in life. And
Yeah.
also my hope is just to find inner peace and just be content with that inner peace. And my favorite thing to eat for lunch during school, y'all know I like to eat a lot, man. So there would be times when they would, like before football games, they would give us this pasta and broccoli and the Gatorade, but the mix. They had to put
Sure.
the powder in with the mix, so it was like extra sweet. That was my shit. And I know like it don't sound like all that fun and glamorous, but man, when you're a kid and you're about to go and play a football game, that's the meal that gets you right.
Carb load.
Yes.
You're carb loaded.
Yes, that was the shit for me. So
Fettuccine Alfredo carb.
so that was my shit. Corey, I'm flipping over the. Oh wait.
Oh
do we-
no,
do
I
we-
was
do
just
we-
doing plugs or whatever. We got plug. Everybody's go around and do
Did
whatever.
we do your snack?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
You
did.
did,
the
you did
cheese.
yours.
I did the
Okay.
cheese or
Oh, the
whatever.
cheese
The
The hot,
joint.
the
All right, the
hot
cheese joint.
plastic cheese.
Hot-
Spicy plastic cheese.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a Blimpie, I guess.
Yeah, Blimpies. That was
Blimpie.
that was a good one.
Do you have another one?
Yeah,
You sounded
so,
like you weren't too
yeah,
happy
so,
with it.
basically, my dad would put a bunch of money on like my card for lunch at school, and I bought friends through buying them food. Less fortunate individuals, but I'd be like, no, we're eating pizza today.
You chose what they ate.
Yeah. Some guys get pizza, some guys, nope, you're going to the first line in the lunchroom. That's where all the kids got to go for the paid lunches, the government paid lunches,
Yeah.
You're like the dude in Oliver Twist or
You
whatever.
argue with me during D&D, you're going to the front line.
Everyone's got to have some sort of ground rules.
Yeah, you're eating those sloppy joes. Actually, I love sloppy joes. No, our pizza was really good. It was like one of a kind, and we had these chicken sandwiches, dude.
Oh,
They weren't from Chick-fil-A. They were similar, but they were like maybe like 7-Eleven chicken sandwiches.
Grilled or fried?
Like fried. Okay. What do you mean, bro? What do you mean grilled? I'm not out here. I mean, maybe now that I have diabetes, maybe I should have been eating some grilled chicken sandwiches. But, it's all right.
There's
It's
still
fine.
time.
Yeah.
Try one out.
Yeah.
Get some salt and pepper mix.
Pollo Loco. All right.
Nice.
I'm gonna
Anything
be
else?
at the fucking Milwaukee Giggle Ranch on
Skylar Corner.
Okay, yeah.
on July 12th. There's
Corey, take us out.
Anybody got ball, had fun, get your minions, take Skylar out, make him tell a real story next time. Until next time, we've been here, you've been
We do
there,
it
we'll
together.
all be around. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, it's like a.
Did I show you guys this?
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay. We're trying to make it happen, and it just hasn't happened.
Yeah.
Just one big.
FRE. Put some
We was partying today. We was partying.
All right.
man.
Damn. Are you really gonna be at the Giggle Factory?